And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lorelines. We've been absent for almost a month, maybe a whole month. So if there were technical difficulties, I guess nobody should be surprised. But we are here. We've got 5 folks today, and Fanfest is coming up. So we wanted to talk a little bit about what is going to go down at Fanfest. We've got a few people going, and then also what might be teased for us for 7.x coming.
Are we live?
I hope we're live.
Only on YouTube.
Well, let's not let the mics hit the floor. We're going to pretend we're live if we're not live.
Yeah, no, we're live. We're live.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. We had so many errors before this. We're panicky.
Speaking of errors, I don't see you, Ayumi.
What?
I know.
See?
You're supposed to be a ninja in the game, not on the screen.
No, it's totally fine. If you can't. I am here whether you like it or not.
Oh, Foul, no. You'll want to turn Discord down in your audio mixer a little.
Sure. But yeah, where did we go? Oh, for crying out
loud. Ayumi went in a tornado, I think. I think that's what happened.
Barbaricha
I'll
got
buy
him.
that.
It's a few months late, but she finally got him. Well, all right, so we've got an invisible Ayumi, so we've got him here, though. He went stealth. He's playing a ninja, and we're going to go with that. So the ghost under the flowers there. That's our friend. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Sorry it was 30 minutes late. We had a bunch of stuff go wrong with an update here, so tried to hammer it out. But yeah, we're back and we're ready to go. So who all is going to Fanfest next week?
I wish I was.
Yeah.
I also wish I were.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I wish I was going, and I am.
Yay.
We wish we were going, and we are.
Yay. So
I think it's Arden and Kobe and I who are going.
Must be nice.
Yes.
Yeah, Datsugen, you're not wrong.
I'm telling myself another time.
Just staying inside in the air conditioning the whole time.
Don't worry, us peasants back at home will be watching the stream.
Yeah, I'm going to Vegas for a week and hanging out with my partner, and we've been just going nuts trying to figure out where we're going to eat and what we're going to eat, and also looking for an aquarium because we want to go to the aquarium.
You want to go swimming?
Maybe.
Swimming
We're
in
not
the
swimming
aquarium.
with the sharks, though. We saw one where you can go swimming
You
with
never
the
know.
sharks, and we were like, nah.
Depends on who you talk to.
As hot as it's going to be,
Sharks are generally pretty chill.
as hot as it's going to be in Vegas, I'm just glad that it's earlier in the year, so the pools are actually open this time.
Oh, yeah, true.
They close up when the drought hits. or something.
I'm looking forward to going on a road trip after Vegas, which will mean I'll get to go to a more temperate climate, in Northern California
Oh, nice.
for the rest of my vacation. Yeah, I'm going to be spending time with 2 of my partners while we're in Vegas.
Yay.
Well, so we just had a patch drop in the game. We're not here to discuss that, but has anybody teased through either the Blue Mage content or maybe the new variant dungeon?
I've done one path of the variant dungeon and then watched my group do a little bit of Criterion. We decided that I'm not going to go in the first round of people in the group just because I'm, leaving on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Amazingly, I have done 2 paths of the variant dungeon so far. The new variant dungeon.
That is kind of amazing.
Nice.
We've been playing World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King Classic
Yep.
for the last 3 days.
It's an Eastern themed variant dungeon, so I couldn't help myself but play it. So yeah, I actually really like it.
I did the pre-quest for it, and I'm excited for it. I just I've been distracted by several different games at the current time, so excuses.
Yes.
I am pretty excited to go in, though. I like how the pre-quest seems like it's going to make us walk up to wherever we're going. So that's exciting. A little bit of journeying in the east.
I've also gotten Blue Mage to 80 and gotten all my Blue Mage spells, but I haven't caught up on the Blue Mage quests. I've kind of been bad. I've been skipping through the level 50 and 60 Blue Mage quests because I can't bring myself to listen to Martin talk.
Yeah, the Blue Mage quests are kind of the low point for us too. Whereas being able to get Therion's Apocalypsis ability is enticing. Although I'm upset that they didn't include anything from Hades or Elidibus's fights.
Me too. I'm really salty about that.
Other
Being
than that,
immortal is fun, but I was really wanting something from them, and I was hoping for something from Lunar Bahamut.
yeah. Other than that, I think that
Yeah, that would be cool.
the main thing we've seen with Ronkin is that it looks fun and it has a really, really cool looking environment.
I'll be honest, I have not touched the game. I've been in full Fanfest burn mode for like the last month.
Yeah, we've been very busy with studying and other things and playing other games. I think we logged in like last week to try out the new patch for one reason, and that was for the Hephaestus hair.
Nice.
You want the hair?
It is pretty.
I tried
good.
it out, and it doesn't look good on Amy.
Yeah.
I don't actually know how you get that. How do you get it?
The new variant dungeon.
Yeah,
it's
the
in
new
there.
variant.
Okay.
You get
some
pot
point I will have
shards,
to,
and then you can buy the hair with the pot shards.
So you're saying that we can buy La Habrea's hair with pot shards from a... Don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah, from a monastery in Gashi.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's better if you don't think about it.
But what's the timey-wiminess?
Let's not get into that.
La Habrea just went there on vacation between calamities.
I was like,
that's all.
As one does.
as one
Yeah.
does. That's really funny.
It's a very out of fashion hairstyle.
So, from previous years, maybe Koberon, what's FanFest like for anyone who's new to our chat?
So it's, I don't know. Last time I went into 2018. It was a very small con feel, but it was really nice because it's such a specific thing that everyone is there for
Mm-hmm.
that you can pretty much talk to anybody about anything in the game and everyone will be more than willing to strike up a conversation. People are very friendly. You'll see the dev staff just walking around. You can walk up and talk to them. I took a really stupid picture with Koji Fox, touching the eye of Nidhogg before I gave it to Foxconn. And we were just like, hey, you want to touch my ball? And he was like, yeah.
That's amazing.
I love
Yeah,
how
no, it was-
approachable they are.
They
That's
really
good.
are. They really are. Like, Soken will just come out and he'll just like sit down somewhere and like within 10 minutes there's a huge line. And it's just like he just sits down just to like he'll just like pick a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really neat. Because it's Vegas. Last time they kind of dressed it up like the Gold Saucer, so there are lots of little mini games and stuff that you can play. They had a full
This time
size.
it's Ozma.
Yeah, this time.
The
yeah,
giant
the new
circular
dome.
arena.
Yeah, the new dome.
Oh
Um,
god.
lots of mini games to play. They had a Kugane set there that you could take pictures on, along with a Hingashi Aetherite. They had the new trial there before it came out live. They had this trial roulette thing where it would be this random challenge, and you had a handicap, and whatever trial it was had its own handicap. Like Lakshmi, whenever you had the dance, like where you get glamored, not glamored, but seduced in the fight, and you're dancing around. You actually have to stand up and dance in the middle of the fight and then run back to your computer.
What?
For us, we got Tsukiyomi, and because she's half light, half dark, half our screens were covered by a black sheet, and we weren't allowed.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It was awesome until we started dying, and then we did not clear it.
To the auto death
There was
mechanic.
also the Eureka challenge, where they kind of dropped you in Eureka as a level 1, in Pagos as a level 1,
Uh-oh.
and they're like,
God.
okay,
Not
run across the zone.
Yeah, it's already hell at 22. So
Yeah.
It's hell at 22. They made you do it as level 1. It was
That is
amazing.
hilarious.
And yeah, it's just a lot of panels. Both Kate and Koji are going to be there. I intend to corner one and just open fire. So
Nice.
I'm really excited for that. Also, a lot of other lore creators are going to be there, and I'm looking forward to meeting some of them in person. So yeah,
it's pretty exciting.
It'll be a good time.
I'm excited.
it's just a really good atmosphere. It's a lot bigger this year, though, so I'm kind of curious how that's going to go.
Yeah. And also
Interesting.
since Shadowbringers and Endwalker's influence, it'll be interesting to see all the new content in like cosplays and stuff.
Yeah.
The keynote is electric. Like I don't even know how else to describe it.
I wish we had a Sophist robe to wear for this thing.
I was really tempted to get one, and then I was just like, I would melt. Like,
Yeah, that's
even
the
if
thing.
there's air conditioning, I would melt.
Right. Yeah. That's the main hesitancy, is because you're in Vegas in July.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm still wearing costumes.
Yeah, I had to go shopping for stuff for the trip last Sunday, and it was 108 here.
Oh,
So
That's from
I got a little taste, except like here it's humid heat, whereas
same.
there it's gonna be dry. But ugh.
So do we think we're gonna get any big reveals at FanFest 1? Ordinarily, they hold a lot under the hood till later on.
Maybe some kind of like teases to 7.0. I mean, I know we're gonna be trying out that trial that's supposed to be in 7.0, but other
So
than
we are definitely we're definitely absolutely getting the new trailer, the name drop, and one of the new classes.
that's how they usually do it, as I recall, right?
Yeah, and they did confirm we are getting a trailer. They also confirmed that it is going to be our first like real peek at the 7.0 graphical update.
Ah,
Interesting.
Nice.
Is it gonna be that horrible Ardbert?
I
Oh my
remember.
god.
I remember before Endwalker came out, we were all like, "It's gonna be Forspoken,"
Yeah.
and we were all speculating on the name and what it could mean and
Turns
everything.
out it was
Yeah.
a shit game.
yeah, unfortunately yeah.
These things happen.
Yeah. It's
They
a
tried
very
something
pretty
new.
game, but
It's just pretty.
yeah.
The game with not a lot in it.
Yeah. That seems to be a common problem these days, so that didn't surprise me too much, but it's still sad.
Yeah.
I hope they learn the right lesson from that and not take away the wrong lesson from that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ben Cluett in chat asks if we all liked Final Fantasy 16.
I haven't played it, but we have several people who have.
I
Ayumi,
haven't finished it yet.
you haven't finished it, but
Same.
you're through it.
Haven't played it.
I have watched all of it. I don't have a PS5, but I did watch Preach go through all of it. And I like it. There's some questionable choices that were made in it, but overall it seems like a good game. It doesn't have the kind of ending I would like. It left me wanting in a way that I expected but didn't appreciate.
Hmm.
I've heard the ending is kind of divisive. I'm about 70% of the way through the game. I haven't finished it yet either. I enjoy it for the most part. I like how heavy it is. My only issue is I wish they developed the characters more. I feel
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want like I want to know everything about everyone in the party. So like Jill and Sid got some decent development, but um, I want to know like more in-depth stuff about them. I want to be able to play as them more and kind of get a feel for who they are a bit more, as
Yeah.
well as some of the side characters. I always go back to Final Fantasy VI because it's the Final Fantasy game, in my opinion, that did this best, where every character is treated like a main character, and I feel like every Final Fantasy has kind of done that to an extent. This is the first one where I feel like it really hasn't. Even 15 kind of did that, where they all had their own side stories in DLC. But as far as DLC for 16, we'll see if they plan any, because right now I know there isn't really on the table any on the table.
Yeah. They said
No,
that
they
they
gotta
were going
talk
to
to
wait
the
to see the
14 director
reception of the
first.
game before coming out with DLC.
No, the 16 director's got to talk to the 14 director.
Yeah, they need approval.
Yeah, that's got to be hard when you're taking direct production resources away from a project.
I will say this about 16. I am very happy that it is a complete game at launch.
Yeah, definitely with that. And then another thing that made me really happy, and I don't think this is a story spoiler. Like, I'm really glad there's like on-screen gay representation.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Oh,
really
yes,
nice to
yes.
see. One of my
I was
friends
happy about
is so happy. Like he freaked out in Discord when he got to see that. He was so excited.
I remember being happy about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, back to FanFest and 7.0 and where we think the game might be going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I predict we're gonna get a new expansion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
It's
I
okay.
predict
We
that-
deserve that.
I predict we'll get to hug a lot of our friends in person. We're all
So
gonna
And
be-
then someone says COVID restrictions.
Oh, well, we will be masked the whole time.
So I had initially speculated before Endwalker dropped that 7.0 would focus on the Void. Of course, now they're looking like they're going to wrap the Void up in this expansion. But I feel like we're going to see the fallout of the end of the Void result in something that we're going to have to deal with immediately.
Lunar cry. Lunar cry.
Maybe it might be a Lunar Cry. I really hope it involves Mericidia, and I definitely feel like Synodic Scribe is going to get his wish. I think we're going to see Ilsabard unclouded. So that's kind of something that he's claiming that if they do that, he'll claim that he got Square to uncloud Ilsabard himself. And
We're
you know
gonna-
what?
we're
He's
gonna
been
back him
shouting
up.
it for so long that I'll give it to him.
I mean, I hope they do that. Like, that's just such a a big open space that needs to be filled in.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They've been talking about Corvos so much that I would be shocked if we didn't see it as a major zone and the
same.
small city, as well as going to Grahatia's homeland. I could see
Mhm.
them going there and kind of developing him a little more.
Do you think we're gonna get any Mericidia or New World?
New World, no. Mericidia, yes, just because they've been developing it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I tend to agree with that, and I would think that whatever Zeromus is going to end up resulting in will probably have Mericidia as its ground zero.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I agree.
My big fear is that they'll do something like split the expansion between Mericidia, the New World, and the Void.
Oh God,
Oh,
no.
it's another Stormblood
that
expansion.
would be even worse than Stormblood for like, having us go
Yeah.
to 3 distinctly very different places.
Yeah,
I would be
that's
so
my
mad.
yeah, that's my big fear right now is that they're gonna split it between 2 or 3 places because I keep looking at the Void storyline and where we're at, and I'm like, unless this ends in like a calamity or a rejoining, I kind of see us hopping between at least 2 places for the expansion.
Well, I have an opinion on that, and I don't know if any of you share it. For Stormblood, it was more about the implementation than the idea. So we start off, in Alamigo, and then we go to the east, and then we come back to Alamigo. It was this rubber banding that was the issue. It created pacing issues. But if you wrap up, the first half of a story arc, and then the story goes in another direction, I feel like that would play fine. I feel like the common refrain and complaint that I give is that this is very much teleport the game, and if they would just resolve a certain plot arc before moving to the next one, maybe it would be okay to have 2 locations. Do you have any thoughts on that?
There is issues with the implementation. Yes, like it could be implemented well. My concern is whether or not they'll be given the budget to implement it well.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though the budget for the game has been going up with each expansion, I have my doubts that it's yet at the point where they can, give us a satisfying story in 2 separate areas for the initial MSQ.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they had one story that involved separate areas, it would work better instead of telling 2 separate stories in one expansion.
Yeah.
Both Endwalker and Stormblood are really guilty of this, and I think they're both
Right.
weaker for it. But I really hope that we're gonna see kind of a diving or a doubling down on a single area just to dive deep into that area. Kind of like ARR did. But my concern is, we had Emmett Silk's list. He's like, here's everything that's going to be coming out in the next expansion. And we've kind of been barreling through it at
I actually
Yeah.
was
Break
thinking
next
those
week,
things are probably going to remain side content, not major expansion stuff, but we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, going to another
see-
shard is not
yeah.
side content.
Right.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's kind of a big
That's
thing.
true. Well, I mean, the Void kind of
Our experience of
is
the Void
another
right
shard,
now
but yes.
is definitely patch content experience, and I do wish
Yeah.
we could go back to the dungeons explore mode, for example, and we just can't. We're locked out.
I think maybe they were hesitant about developing the 13th because it is very much just like these islands of space.
You mean
in
the
midst
churning
of, like,
mists?
an endless darkness. Even more than the churning
I know,
mists,
but you know what I
because of the
mean.
elemental imbalance.
I mean, it's cool as hell.
Right. On the question of like whether or not they would be able to handle doing more than one area in this next expansion, the possibility could be that they have Corvos as almost like a staging area for Mericidia, and that it's the only other area other than Mericidia that we would have any extensive use of. To kind of balance it out, but also leave a doorway open behind Corvos into the rest of Ilsabard.
Another thing I could see them doing too is splitting the expansion between like specifically Mericidia and the Void and having them interlinked in the story where like, maybe we're going through Mericidia trying to deal with a Void Scent problem there, and then we realize that, we're going to have to go solve this on the Void and we can't really fix the problem by staying in Mericidia. So I could see them doing something like that.
That actually just made me think maybe like what might happen is Zeromus and Golbez's situation creates an almost partial rejoining, and then we're stuck in the middle of like the 13th barreling into the source and shit going bad.
That'd be a very good plot arc.
We have to like go between both Mericidia, which is where it's the worst, and also the 13th to try and desperately solve the situation.
Yeah.
But the skies are only red for 2 quests.
In this case, it'd be purple.
I would love to see them do something like that and have like the 13th actually visible in the sky, a la Dalamud in 1.0. Maybe bring the meteor storm weather back.
The giant
That
ink
is-
ball in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that. I'm just not so much concerned because it feels like they do one split expansion and one whole expansion, for lack of better terms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see a solid expansion, and they know Endwalker is weak. They know that, even though the story is done, they've lost players. Despite the fact that they're like, hey, the story's not done, it's still going, and they know that they're in that ARR patch phase where they're trying to tease what's coming up without outright saying it. So they've just been laying groundwork, and people are taking breaks from the game, and that's fine. So they know they need a really strong expansion to bring them back in. So I'm hoping that they're playing on that and just kind of keeping it under wraps until Friday. So I guess we'll see.
I still have to reiterate, I feel like so there's this problem with the content right now where all of the content in the game is either raid content or solo 4-person content. And it sounds great on paper, but when you lack a bread and butter everyday grind incentive kind of public raid environment, people
Yeah.
just start to disappear. So we had this in Stormblood, and we had this in Shadowbringers, and I don't know if they just thought we didn't need it, but Bosnia was very popular. I mean, there were 40 to 80 people
I
in
still
the
love
zone.
it.
Yeah, Eureka and
all the
Bosnia
time.
both were definitely like at their height, very popular.
Yeah,
Correct
Didn't
me
they
if I'm
say-
wrong, but Bosnia was not popular in Japan.
it may not have been.
It wasn't popular in Japan. Overseas, it was very popular.
I mean, our Gangos was popping. Like, you could just not even instance into the raid, just hang out in the zone, and there were about 72 people on the quest gear.
Yes.
So it was something to do. It had scalable. It was a scalable experience where even after you finished it, you could still go back and get like plus 30 on your stat stacks in Anyway, so it's replayable, it's broad appeal, and they just don't have that this time. They have a lot of really great sort of one-off experimental content. I really like it, but it seems like they sacrificed kind of their it's not a cash cow, but that, you know what I'm trying to say, like the content that brings everyone back to the table, it's just not there.
It also seems like
believe-
their attention was elsewhere a little bit too.
Correct. Yeah.
I can't imagine what it could have been on.
Mystery.
We'll never know.
I believe they said that one of the reasons the Relic questline is being done the way it is this time is that they needed to allocate the resources somewhere else.
I'm guessing that's going to be the next expansion, not 16. I'm thinking they kind of knew this was going to be kind of a down pat cycle and decided to pool their resources into making 7.x really, really good. At least my hope. Not
Yeah,
right.
same.
Yeah, that's our hope too.
Because if you look at the patches that we've been getting, like, they're fine. The content is fine, but like my raid group has been kind of like grr for the past like 9 months because all we really have to do is raid.
That's right.
And like it did
It's
take us
repetitive.
a long time to actually clear DSR, but like we want other stuff to do. We don't like being in a situation where we're only logging into 14 to raid.
Yep, and those who don't raid, imagine the scenario. So that's where we're at. It's still a wonderful game. It was a beautiful story, and we're waiting for another patch, but it's just very hard. And, use that opportunity to play all these other titles. I sure have been.
Absolutely. So have we.
Yep.
It's honestly been kind of a welcome break.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. Especially after the whirlwind that was earlier in Walker, right before the patches really got into motion.
And I'm sorry, those of you who enjoy our YouTube videos, I haven't been able to make any lately, but I will be back at it after Fanfest.
Definitely check our backlog, though, because they're all incredible if you haven't seen them. Gobron, he does
They
such a
are.
good job. He's like, they're right. Yeah, I know.
One of my friends is on patch 5.3 and is like, I can go watch your videos now. And I'm like, no, stop. Wait until you finish
you
the
cannot.
book, or don't do that yet.
Yeah, no.
That's funny.
You can tell that to us about maybe 2 years ago, but not now.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you all. I think they're going to wrap up the Void stuff. I think that was the intended patch cycle content. I don't know how they're going to do it. It would make sense for them to drop a Lunar Cry and Mericidia be the hub. I think that's brilliant. I also know that every time I've predicted anything about the next expansion, I've been incorrect. So
Imagine
Hey,
predicting
that just means it's
something.
your time to shine.
yeah.
Imagine predicting something almost 2 years ahead of time.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do with the prediction videos. I'm really excited to do my 7 or
Yeah.
8.0 prediction video.
That's,
7.0.
that's exactly what I did. If it happens,
And you're just intentionally you're good with being wrong. You're happy for it.
Mhm.
Ian.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love being wrong because
We're all
that means
about-
I have something new to think about.
All about them
Exactly.
tinfoil hats here.
Yes.
I'd rather not be right either. Can you imagine just yep, knew it, yep, yep, that's exactly what, yep, okay. Why would you
I
sub?
will say that can sometimes be really great, because that was me all of Shadowbringers. I was like, yeah, screw you, friends in my FC. I called this back in 2.x.
They're actually yeah, anyway.
Yeah, we become insufferable when we're right. So
I was gonna say, I think people like me better when I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Boy.
We get to be wrong, so you get to be right.
Yes.
that's right.
We're wrong, so you don't have to be.
Tetsu says it would be nice to see a Final Fantasy IX Gaia Terra situation. We kind of did see that though with ancient souls and reincarnating into bodies. I would like to see more of the fallout from unsundered souls going into sundered bodies. That I think would be awesome. I don't think this game has the
Yeah.
balls, for lack of a better word, to do
No.
it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that'll probably end up being something that's just going to be in fan.
Because that I really want to see some dumbass kid use creation powers, use up all his aether, and then he's just dead.
Yeah,
and
same.
then you have to investigate it and be like, what's going on? What's happening? Oh, look, all these unsundered souls are coming back, and suddenly people have creation magic again. That would be really cool.
This kid died to make a giant teddy bear.
Aww.
Or, a primal.
Oh god, a teddy bear primal.
There you go.
Oh God!
Teddy
It
Suddenly got very
it tempers people by hugging them.
bear!
I mean, most creation magic things didn't do that, I don't think. So it all depends on yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
On not having this apparent inbuilt flaw that suddenly appeared in Endwalker. I have made my opinion on that stated before.
Yeah.
I'm also hoping they fix some of the gaping holes left in the plot from Endwalker.
I doubt they'll
Yeah.
fix even half of them.
They might address one or
Unfortunately.
two, but I think a lot of them are going to be left open for
Yeah.
a good long
Yeah.
time, if
Yeah.
not forever.
They're probably
It's-
in the category of move on, this is Final Fantasy Disneyland.
Right, and in that,
Yeah.
it's really up to us to do what we want at this point with those holes to try and mend them or not.
Indeed.
I think as time goes on across the expansions, they're going to find that they're struggling more and more with some of the ones that they leave unaddressed, though, and they'll have to
Mhm.
address them.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
that's usually
Can
how
only
it
rule
works.
it cool so much, and then people are like, okay, it's not cool anymore. It's just annoying.
Yeah. There's that, and then sometimes you can write yourself into a corner like early on in your story, be
Not
like, oh
realize
yeah,
it.
I'll leave this for future me. And then
Oh
You
yes, that's
know,
and the
300
is pretty familiar with that.
yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
yeah, 300,000 words later, it's like, oh shit, this is no longer for future me. I am future me. Shit.
Cast me as an asshole.
Yeah,
Yep.
Future
Don't
me
know.
hates past me.
exactly.
That's really funny.
Not speaking from experience or anything.
You don't want to write this, you swear.
Yeah, that's the whole mindset where, hey, I'm going to quit this job soon. I'm just gonna write this really, really crazy scenario where it might be impossible to write out of it, but it's not gonna be my problem, and I get a raise or a promotion, and now I'm lead writer, and I can't leave. So fuck.
So Tetsu has an interesting thing in chat. Says also during 5.x we got lots of moonshots, but this time they have said there are hints in the patches, but most people will overlook them. Do we have some moons in 6.x? We might have to think about that.
I mean, the most obvious / blatant that isn't really exactly obvious thing I can think of off the top of my head is Azem's symbol in Alzadal's Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is, I think, connected to what Emmett said. Is like, oh yeah, I've totally been here, which is why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, and it's not just putting Azem graffiti everywhere as he goes.
Sentimental man.
That sounds like something the Hythlodaeus would do, only with actual spray.
Yeah, really. God, there was something this last patch that I thought might be a hint, but it's slipping my mind right now.
The cryo letter? The letter
Oh
that
yeah,
That.
her smash invite, yeah.
Right, and then also
Nice.
Oh yeah, the mysterious benefactor or whatever.
Right.
Client.
Yeah, which Thancred and Urianji talked about.
I remember there being an image flying around with a similar graphic to what's on that envelope or letter.
So going back to the moon, do you think this is a minor spoiler for those of you who have not done all the role quests? Do you think we will see the Garleans migrate to the moon in 7.x?
I
That
thought
might be cool.
I thought that was where they were going with it when we got like the penultimate role quest with Fortunate and company, and they mentioned that like Nero and some of the Garleans.
Right.
I think it's a mixture, Cobra.
But
yeah,
I tend to think that it's a mixture between Menfina and Charlayan, and then also people who are sticking with the people who are like in the Sonatus bunker and in like the environment of Garlemald, who are going to try and rebuild.
it seems like there's three paths, and I don't know which one we're
Right.
going to go on, but it seems like there's a faction that wants to be rebuild. The scientists want to go to the moon for a new adventure, and they had the access point right there in the capital. So what the heck?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
And
there
then-
were people who went to Charlayan.
And
like,
then
refuge
meanwhile
and stayed.
there's refugees and an exodus out of the homeland.
Yeah. And I imagine that that'll probably include over time people who leave the provinces because they're like, we can't keep these anymore.
For sure. Oh, you know what? We have absolutely no new information on that would be cool as hell to be snuck into 7.x. I think we should get some more Evilise content. I know we just got Ultima. I don't mean more Ultima. I mean let's go take care of the Republic of Landis and things like that.
Right.
We have Leamond. We have.
Oh boy,
yeah.
There could be a deep dungeon in Leamond, or that could actually be the new raid instance. Oh, wouldn't that be cool if they did a?
We have Valnane.
Valnane, yep.
Which was
Yep.
set fire to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm imagining if we do get some open air content like Eureka Basia, maybe they do insert the public raids, and maybe they go into Leamond, like Vagrant Story style.
Yeah, that could
That'd be cool.
I was thinking the Final Fantasy 16 collab is
Yes.
likely going to be either the Alliance raid or the Relic.
Mm.
I think it would be kind of hard to do the Relic considering how the weapon system and stuff is done in 16. But because that would be a lot of weapons that they have to design for something other than sword.
Mm-hmm.
But hey Yumi, how far into 16 are you?
Not very far at all.
Darn.
Okay, I won't say anything.
Spoil it.
I don't care.
Mute.
I really don't.
Okay, you don't care about spoilers.
Make sure
No.
that goes all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's
Does
not a
anyone else care about 16 spoilers?
I care, but just tell me in chat when it's safe.
Only if it's the ending.
Okay, it's not the ending.
Give me
It
1 second to
happens pretty
deafen,
early.
and I'll you can go to town.
Yeah, okay, foul deafen.
All right, I'm just gonna take my headset off so I don't ruin the stream.
Okay. And hopefully he says when he's done that. Oh, I heard him set his thing down. So, Ultima.
Oh yeah.
Called it.
Yeah. Are we thinking that that might tie into 14's Ultima? Because I sure am.
Listen,
I hope not.
Ultima being a interdimensional now, not interstellar, interdimensional being,
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen.
Yeah. I was like, fuck.
That might have been why they brought it back so heavily in Pandemonium at the end.
Yeah, having Ultima show up in Pandemonium content, and then, you know, like, what was it, like a week later, 16 comes out, and it's like, oh, hi, here's Ultima. That's so sus to me.
Yep. I'm
So,
telling you, she is the in all of Final Fantasy. She or he, depending on which game you play, or it, or they, or whatever pronoun you want to use, will always appear in some way, shape, or form.
yeah. I was watching the story for 16, and I was just like, oh no, are they going to make like some weird Ultima MSQ tie-in? Because, like, I could pretty easily see them taking 16s and, you know, Evilises and what we have in 14 and just doing
all the
some
same.
I mean, look how
and doing some
seamlessly-
ungodly stuff in MSQ, which I'm kind of here for, but I'm also kind of terrified for.
Look how seamlessly they took Pandemonium's tie-in with Evilise.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy of them, and I liked it, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So if they bring more Ultima into 14, do you guys think it's going to be more side content, or do you guys think it's going to be MSQ?
I mean,
Ultima dropped the side content when it became Pandemonium content.
Agreed.
fair enough.
Hard agree with that.
Okay.
I've always said there is no side content in 14. Everything eventually becomes MSQ.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm hoping Eden will be relevant to the 13th eventually.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking along the same thing because the Heart of Sabik went from MSQ to Pandemonium, and then they let Claudian keep the goddamn thing.
Yeah, he's just got it in his
Of
pocket.
all the
Good
things,
idea.
that's even worse than the Eyes of Nidhogg being chucked into the chasm.
Yeah,
That was a
it
great
really is. So I'm kind of just like you guys know I already thought that was going to be an MSQ tie-in,
Right.
and then 16.
We've just created
Ultima
another
happened.
supervillain.
It makes me funny that it makes me laugh that you can just like go up to Claudian and talk to him about it at any time, and he'll just show it to you, and he's just got it. He's got this like.
It's just sitting
Might
there
as,
with it.
might
This
as well be a
definitely
nuke.
won't corrupt me.
Yeah, it
even
might
though
as well
did
be a
an ancient.
nuclear. It might as well be a nuclear weapon, and he's just holding it in his pocket.
Yeah. He's just like,
God.
hi, friend. Look at my shiny rock. Don't you like
And
my
we're just
rock?
kind of okay with this.
He's caused
thing
my
is,
unsundered self so much trouble.
You can't. And defeating Ultima is nigh impossible with the amount of ways she can escape death.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that might make me okay with that is if we see Charlene kind of go the way of Castro Meridiano. It was like,
Oh,
oops,
yeah.
I cast Ultima by accident because I had this stupid rock
Hate
with
when
Ultima
that
in it.
happens.
Yeah. Just a chunk of Labyrinthos disappears and causes a cave-in or something.
Yeah, also, surprise, I'm crazy now.
That might actually be an improvement on Labyrinthos, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, it can only help.
Yeah, I don't like Labyrinthos.
Watch Claudian go nuts right at the end of 655, and that is our new 7-0.
No. It's too soon. It's too soon. They always jump in expansion, so we would see that happen maybe in eight series instead of 7, and we'll just see his like he'll randomly pop up on the side in 7.x, and then in 8.0 he'll just lose his goddamn mind.
They did say that they're gonna surprise us though. So who the fuck knows?
A lot of times, I'm gonna surprise you is just if you're
Yeah.
not paying close attention
Right.
and
Uh,
actually following the clues, you will be surprised.
Yeah.
That's
You
just
know,
my opinion, but
so who Who do you think the mysterious client is?
Before we answer that, do you think it's safe to bring Foul back?
I'm here.
It is definitely
I
safe
snuck
to
in.
bring Foul back,
Okay.
yeah.
I snuck in, but I heard Cloudian.
I will tell you
Okay.
who I think it is, and then we'll see who you guys think it is. I think it's a Shelia.
Oh. Yeah, it could be.
Oh, I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, because they brought her up and they haven't talked about her since. And if we're going to that area, then
Evilise just
Yep.
became MSQQQ.
Exactly.
MSSSQQQ.
I mean,
The mainest of story quests.
with Bosja and Dalmasca
All roads
working so
lead to
close-
Evilise.
with Bosja and Dalmasca working so closely now, and with Garlemald now like in the past, like the rearview mirror, it would be the perfect time to bring her in.
Yep, we could see the Dalmascan restoration.
Could we see the
Maybe she's queen.
I would love to go to Ravenaster.
How about the Bun Girl jungle?
I've already been there.
We're gonna go to the Bun Girl jungle.
Again.
That doesn't count.
Yes, I could see us going to the Vira homeland this expansion.
Bun Girl jungle.
Jungle in the Skate range.
Yeah, I'd love to have access to the
It would be
Skate
cool too,
range,
'cause,
especially for character lore reasons.
that's what I was gonna kinda get at.
I
Go ahead, Neela.
I was just gonna say, and they can even populate it with the occasional male bunny form too, because we have them both in the game.
yes we do.
Only-
I'm not biased.
How
Only
dare
if
you,
they're
Foul?
tied
How
and
dare you?
gagged in the back of a hut and screaming.
Look,
Please save me.
The
That's
bunny
lore.
squeals. That's lore.
It is
I mean,
lore.
what?
I played.
They
the
would
lore
have to
for
be
it.
out in the woods. Yes.
You want snoo snoo?
No, but they get it anyway.
We're a Christian stream, by the way.
Christian Minecraft server.
Christen these nuts.
Nice.
Right.
Well, now that we're off the rails,
We were never on the rails.
what are rails?
Fair.
Edible.
Edible?
Yes.
I'll take that.
I was looking for the picture of Kryle's letter, but apparently I didn't take a screenshot of it.
I was going to say Rowena or Ameliance, and that was just me being a troll, but I like what you said better.
Oh, for the mysterious client?
Yes. And then suddenly it's Thancred trying to get his relic weapon.
Oh god. It's the same
Jesus.
model, but it just closed.
Why did that work?
Sorry if my background's noisy. I am 3D printing Nafika parts.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Nice.
Which ones? Wink.
The shoulders.
Oh, okay, so you're not
I wanna
printing
say
yourself
close
a
enough,
chassis.
but-
Okay.
I'm gonna say the bounteous tracts of land.
No.
Tragic.
See, if I just said close enough, you guys would ream me for being dirty.
Nope, we would not.
Yes, because I am the one who will get on people for being dirty. Definitely.
Right?
Literally and figuratively.
You have to worry about that.
I'm watching you.
Oh god, what if Thancred
I-
settles down with that? I'm here for that.
I hope we get to find out soon where Aaronville's from.
Oh
Me
yeah,
too.
that was
w-
teased.
Oh yeah, that was the other hint
It
I
sure
was
was.
thinking of. Is like
Just Thancred
Aaronville's
completely
weird.
smitten.
It's like,
whole,
it'll
like,
be a
yeah, I'm going
homecoming.
home.
Oh.
Yep.
'Cause that felt very out of place to me in the.
Yeah. Do we need to know about your personal? Like, I mean, we know what bunnies, how that and all. So,
Yeah,
sorta-
and it's like I know that a lot of people like Aaronville. I like Aaronville, but
same.
I don't think that was fan service. I think that was hint, hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool if they did like some kind of twist and there's some Vera homeland down in Mericidia.
I will say that if they do announce that it's a Shelia or they announce Dalmasca, I will be screaming at home.
Oh wait, I just had a thought.
Uh-oh.
Where are Hrothgar from then?
Ilsabard.
Bosja.
Yeah, that would be really good timing for us to go there if they're adding female Hrothgar in 7.x.
True. I'm trying to remember. I was talking with someone about female Hrothgar. Were they saying that's going to be not this expansion, but the next, or are we actually expecting that this expansion?
I would expect it this expansion.
So
Okay.
originally we'd been expecting it in the patches for 6.x, but it looks like it was probably pushed back for the graphical update.
That makes sense actually then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the graphical update. The game looks great, obviously. I mean, I'm sitting here playing 15-year-old games on my free time.
Yeah.
But it could really use an update. I don't know how else to say it. It looks great, but it does look like it's about 5 or 6 or 7 years old tech. And I don't know if you've seen some of the up close shots of the new games that may or may not actually come to development, come to market, because God knows 80% of MMOs that we get hyped for disappear before they sell.
Yeah.
But like I just saw some up close shots of Ashes of Creation, for example, and you know, we could just use a little bit of texture update, I think, over here on the Final Fantasy side of things.
Yeah, I was looking through the teaser for the graphical update again the other day because I was showing my friend that's going through Shadowbringers right now.
Sure.
And I forgot how freaking good it looks. Like
Amazing what they can do with a couple lines of shader code.
Yeah, like it looks so much so much better, especially the shot that they showed of like Elpis. Like I think that one specifically, I'll just put it in live chat so you guys can take a glance at it again. Like that's just such a huge difference. And I'm glad it doesn't change the art style of the game. It's just Final Fantasy 14 but better. But
yeah, I mean, you can still see pixelation, but it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not like heavily pixelated like the grass is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that one right there, that the one for God, what's that area called again? That part of Thavnir. Like that's a pretty big change too, because whatever they're doing is allowing them to decorate the environment more, and like they straight up changed the texture on some of the stuff there too.
It's more
which I think
environmental objects.
more than graphics, Final Fantasy 14 needs a textures update.
I agree.
Yeah,
because
if
they can fix such pixelation, I'll be super happy.
It's always sort of been a problem. I've had friends come to 14 who, just walking around, you can kind of see how almost any zone, if you walk around in FF, there's a little bit of fuzziness to what's going on in front of you. I don't know if it's just the way it's rendered, but like if you go to an ARR zone and versus playing a different game that has just a sharper image quality, I don't know. Maybe you guys didn't catch it, but there was this issue where the screen would go kind of fuzzy when you walk around. It's something that new players catch usually because they're used to other engines. Did we lose someone? Neela. We lost Neela.
There was a rumor going around that 16 was on a modified version of 14's engine, but they did apparently confirm in May that 16 isn't using Unreal and it's not using Luminous.
But
so
doesn't Square often use its own engine?
Yeah.
Like
which Luminous is one of their own engines, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, when asked about the engine, they said, we don't get asked this very often, but it's not on the Unreal Engine or the Luminous Productions engine. It is a technology that we have developed in Creative Business Unit 3 for Final Fantasy 16. And I kind of wonder if they might end up like making a shift over to that engine for 14, if that's something that they can do since they developed it. And I know that they don't like Luminous.
And we also, the viewers may not know, but for those who've had any idea about 16, I've seen a few screenshots, and they've clearly taken art assets from the 14 aesthetic. There's a frickin' orchestrion. The gazelles look just like the antelopes. I don't know what they're called, but you get what I'm saying. So, Yeah, I mean, if they're using similar assets and not just because of laziness, maybe they could port the game over to the new engine. That would be cool. That would be super cool.
That would probably help a lot with the longevity of the game too, because I know that as time goes on, they've been having more and more issues just because of the game being on Luminous and the spaghetti code and whatever.
Yeah. That's the thing.
is
I think
problematic.
we've all been tired of hearing spaghetti code as an excuse.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
it's
just the way they redesigned the game from 1.0 to 2.0 incurred a massive amount of tech debt. So they got to pay it off at some point somehow.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't see it making a switch to a completely new engine. I think that would be too expensive.
Probably.
And it would break too much in the game. But I definitely see them kind of trying to patch fix it, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Like, one of the things that's really obvious that they've been doing some work on the game is like, I don't know if you guys have tried to use any like ARR glam with Endwalker glam recently.
I have not.
I've actually noticed it the most with like the updated models for stuff from like Labyrinth of the Ancients and Coils, which they
Oh yeah, that stuff
PvP,
too.
like the update and the textures on those relative to the AR originals is quite stark.
Yeah, I was trying to put together a new tank glam and I was using I think I was using an Endwalker chest piece and I tried to put ARR gloves with it. And oh my god, the pixelation on the detail and ARR stuff compared to like the very, very little pixelation on Endwalker armor textures is kind of insane.
Although you still see assets where it looks flat. You know, there's no 3D to it at all. Like my
Oh yeah,
my
for sure.
Shadowbringer's bow is an item that is just I forget if it's crafted or dungeon, but they added, it might have been raid actually, but they added you know how they copy skins from other assets.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the skins is still that bow I used back in Shadowbringers, and not updated at all, just new colors, and it looks like a piece of cardboard. It's like if you went to a convention, but your cosplay was a cardboard. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's quite bad. And then others are great, absolutely great. It's like the grapes. It's like the grapes.
Yeah. I got the raid sword and shield last week. And the detailing on that is really, really freaking high quality.
Can I just say, I think it's hilarious that they went all in with the grapes thing, and we're getting
Oh,
it
yeah.
at FanFest.
Yes.
It's funny. Maybe that was the intention all along. No.
Delicious squapes for everyone.
Squapes.
I feel like they heard squapes and they were like, squapes. Squish. Squishy squapes.
We blame Koji for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
100%.
Koji.
Or Kate.
Oh, like they're not colluding.
Welcome back to the living.
We've got a question in chat from Ben. Are 7.0 textures close to what we have here in Endwalker, or much better? If you're asking what we think is going to happen, or if you're asking the facts, because we haven't seen any 7.0 materials yet. Not really.
Yeah, like those two shots, I'll grab one of the other ones once I find the tab.
If you can
and
find
just
a
put it in chat.
hyperlink, yeah, thanks. That you're referring to the teaser pictures from the
Yeah.
graphical update. Yeah, they're you'll see. We're gonna post them here.
Where was the one that's not set up? Stupid. There
It
it
still
is.
very much looks like the same game. I mean, I don't want to overhype you, but progress is progress.
Yeah, that article has all of the ones that they showed us last year in it. We haven't heard anything since this tease.
Ben clarified. Just wants to know what we think. I imagine it's going to be a continuation and gradual increase as it has been. We could really use a big jump, and that's coming. This is like a medium jump to me. It's not shockingly good, but it's definitely better.
Yeah, I think for now it's going to be like Faust said, a gradual increase because they've said they don't want to make such a change that a bunch of people can't play anymore. They want it to remain on the level of like a setting that you can turn on if you have a good computer for now.
I would like that. Like to change the
That'd be
slider for
great.
Ultra from 10 to 20, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And it doesn't mean I'll run it. I mean, God knows my hardware is backdated, but somebody will, and that's exciting.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I hope that helps.
Our videos are gonna look great.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna have to play with my settings more for streaming.
So here's probably the sad part here. When is 7.0 coming out?
Like June probably next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June or August.
Yeah. So just wanted to burn everybody's hopes and dreams.
With one more major patch before then, it's going to be a long wait.
Yeah, 4 months in between. We're looking at 5.5 being in like, well, that's January or February or so.
Yeah, there's gonna be a long lull this time between the patch and the expansion.
We'll find something
Yeah.
to do here at the podcast, but it's going to be a wait. So I mean, have your hype and be excited for it, but also you might want to play other stuff in the meantime.
Yeah, and we'll be here to entertain you in the meantime.
Yep.
Yeah, Palia is going into closed and then open beta in August, and that's like Stardew Valley, the MMO. So I'm planning on playing that and kind of just chilling a bunch.
So this
Val
is
and I have ours.
Yeah, we do. Although I want to talk about what Arden mentioned just now. So this is not a nitpick. I actually have never heard how they call the game, but I thought it was Palia because we make friends. And
That's what I thought too.
But is it not?
I hate it.
It is apparently Palia,
Oh, I hate them.
right?
I'm no longer interested. I'm kidding. Check it out. Palia. I'm right. They're wrong. Palia. It's a cute like Harvest Moon no combat MMO that I could absolutely play with the kiddos. So
Yeah.
it's
The
cool.
only kind of combat there is, if you want to even call it that, is like hunting because you
Yeah.
can equip a bow and go like hunt animals and whatever.
Yep.
The housing system is what I'm really excited for, even though it's unfortunately very instanced. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with it, so that'll scratch the housing itch that 14 can't.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how many housing instances they make; it will never suffice.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I know that they made their decision; they have to live with it. But, shoot, man. Housing zones are cool, but they're empty, and yet they're full.
Yeah.
It's not. You want
They
you want
dropped
the
the ball
housing
to
to
begin
feel
with.
they couldn't fix it after that. Yeah.
And they couldn't fix it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite games for housing implementation actually ended up closing down this month or last month, which was Swords of Legend Online.
Mm-hmm.
It unfortunately just kind of died out, but they had like probably tens of thousands of plots the way they did it. They basically did these instanced neighborhoods the way that 14 does, except a bajillion of them, and then you had like a limit of something like 20,000 items or more that you could place on your property.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like it was really
Wow.
good, and all the buildings were modular, so instead of just setting down like a pre-built house or having a pre-built house automatically, you could like puzzle together the walls and the roofing and the doors and the archways and just create a completely custom house. It was awesome.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, you can do that some with Palia, which is one of the reasons I'm excited for that. I haven't seen what the furnishing limit is going to be, but from what they've shown of messing around with it, like it looks really good. You can actually get like a properly furnished interior without having to like cut off an area or any of the other curse stuff we have to do in 14.
I just wish, and I know it's too late, it's a bit of a soapbox over the years, but I just wish that they had chosen to open up North Gridania instead, so that I could walk down to the market district for the board when I wanted it, but still be integrated in the town filled with NPCs.
Yes.
That's what I was hoping for. And like, if you go to the different areas, you know, granted we have Imperium now in Ishgard, but if you actually look up as you're walking through, you can see there's residences up there on top of the stone buildings, pretty much anywhere in the pillars. So like, it's cool. It's a missed opportunity.
See, I rail against instance housing because I like laughing at peasants.
Sure.
I want them to see my grandeur and despair.
Then you would have loved Star Wars: The Old Republic's housing.
You mean the spaceship?
There's spaceship, but they also added actual
like apartments.
Housing. Yeah. Well, there was housing, and then there was actual housing. There was apartment housing. There was actual housing. It depended on which planet you wanted to buy your abode from. You could buy like Tatooine or Nar Shaddaa, or
they must have added that after I had quit.
Yeah, they also had guild housing where you could basically get like a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, you basically purchased yourself a Star Cruiser.
That's cool. Yeah, that was definitely added after my time.
If you could just buy one, why didn't the rebellion just buy one?
Because they're broke.
Different time period, different economics.
Yeah. So on my characters, I have a Nar Shaddaa apartment. I have a Coruscant apartment. I have a Tatooine residence for my agent.
That's crazy.
It looks so good. It's an actual homestead too. Like, it's not like just a small little thing. It's a huge homestead.
Well, that's exciting.
You can keep adding on to it too. So the way they did it was, you have a small area that you can walk around in, and if you want to get more added on, you just pay in-game currency.
See, now that would be real work money.
Well, I'm trying to think. Do we have any tinfoil to go around?
No, but I get the feeling we're going to need some.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just at a stage with FF that I feel like we have a pretty good list from our boy Emmett Selk as to what's going to happen, and it's really just a question of in what order and what classifies. Like, I do think that the what the hell was that? My brain is just fried, guys, just so you know. But the dungeon where we actually go to the 13th from, what is that called again? Alzadal's Legacy?
Yes.
Yeah, Alzadal's Legacy is where the
so that
portal.
Is that not the ruins under the bounty?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So that's on the list, and so it sounds like a big ass thing. Like, we're gonna get a huge zone, and it's gonna be cool, and I certainly did, and it's just a dungeon. So
we were bamboozled.
Yeah, so I mean, go through the checklist. We've got civilizations of the shards. Okay, so the 13th actually has civilization. Got it. So checked off. And so, what's next? He mentioned Mericidia. He mentioned the Frozen North. He mentioned the New World. And so that's kind of what we're expecting.
It is what we're expecting, but that could also be the Des being like, let's set this seemingly really concrete expectation so that we can foil it. And
it's not that concrete, though. They're not in any order.
Can I just say, I have very mixed feelings about New World being kind of like old Spain's view of what the New World was.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the New World
like
MMO.
The cities of gold, El Dorado, and all that stuff.
For sure.
At the same time, covered in Mooball jaw. So.
Right, and I'm just also kind of very like after the Blue Quest, I'm hesitant to see them do that.
But I will say, that is the one place in the game where the Final Fantasy VII storyline can actually take flight is New World, because we've got the drilling and mining operations, kind of strip mining the land over there, and I could see like a Shinra style company just like reaching over and just kind of ruining everything.
And that's
over
in the
there,
Blue
and we have
Mage
to
quest
stop.
line, presumably? Yeah.
There's also a lot of really big potential for Final Fantasy 11 crossover because the freaking tribe over there is directly from 11.
Okay.
Yeah, they were one of the 3 main tribes in the Ott-Ergen expansion. So when I saw those in ARR, I was like, the fuck are they doing here?
Another
Oh,
thing,
the Mumal Jaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
another thing that, I mean, just obviously, I think everyone with eyes who did a little bit of the Blue Mage quest might be a little bit concerned about the kind of Halloweeniness of the characterization of the very Native American New World.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a very Orientalist approach to indigenous identity. I
But
like it.
I felt that they did an okay job with Ronka.
Mostly.
That's what I mean. So if it was less Blue Mage cheesiness and more Ronka respect, I'd be totally fine with it. And so I hope that they find a good balance. That's what I wanted to say.
I agree. I still got to make my my Ronka video.
Yeah. So, and you
Yeah,
know,
like,
there's a lot of
they'll
stuff.
definitely-
Go ahead.
They'll definitely be on thin ice
Yes.
with the New World whenever we get there. So
Oh, yeah.
hopefully they have like at least a sensitivity reader or something on the team so that they can avoid the very many pitfalls of covering such topics.
And I would say on behalf of our completely justified devil's advocates in our Discord that maybe we needed a similar reader for Garlemald because of the amount of destruction they caused in the previous 5 expansions. So, you know, I mean, we can humanize folks and not gloss over issues, and you know, they could work out just fine. They just have to play their cards. But in the end, someone's always going to be upset.
Yeah, that's also true.
Not gonna be me.
Tetsu says, I have so many tinfoils.
On the topic of
Let's hear
like
'em.
New World and Garlemald and stuff, like just from a story writing perspective, I personally don't have the expectation or demand that they get it perfect if they
Yes.
go into those topics. I just would like to see some effort on like trying to approach it with
Yes.
grace because
Obvious
it's
care,
so
not
hard.
perfection.
It's so hard to navigate some of those
Right.
topics.
And they just don't have a very good track record, even including like the Sami people not really liking it that they added
Right.
one of their traditional garbs to the
Yeah.
shop without their permission, like not even consulting with them first. It's just like stuff like that makes me hesitant to trust that they'd be able to do it.
It was. Did you know it was one person? It was like only a handful of people, but the rest were all okay with it. So it was only a fraction of the amount of people who were affected, a small amount of people who were affected that took issue with it, but the majority were okay with it and actually liked it because it brought attention to their religion.
Yeah. I mean, that's
It's
the
usually,
thing. It's
a
usually how
fairly
it is.
typical vocal minority.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's one of the reasons I'm like, I just want to see Square try to show respect, even if they don't nail it, because I know that regardless of what they do, they could do it perfectly, but there
Someone
would
will still
still
throw a
be
fit.
yeah, exactly. There would still be someone out there who just raises Cain about it.
Oh, there will always be someone out there. If you say something like off topic, they'll be like, "Well, why did you change the subject?" "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that. I'm never talking to you again." It's always
Yeah.
like that.
That too.
We're getting pretty close to closing time. We're going late because we started late. My technical issues caused a 30-minute delay, but we are getting close to the hour-and-a-half mark. I just wanted to say that we've got about 15 more minutes. If you need stuff to catch your eye in between the 4-month patch cycles, we're still going to play the hell out of this game. It's just, we're going to play it when there's content. And so that's where we're at. There's a bunch of stuff coming out or that has come out. Diablo 4 was decent. I know that the next expansion to Guild Wars 2 releases in about a month. It's in pre-order right now. We're playing some old stuff. Yep. It looks pretty cool. I would say check out their website. We also have Final Fantasy 16 that just came out. I haven't touched it. I would be playing the shit out of it if I had a PlayStation 5. I don't.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. But there's just a lot of titles. And, hop on our Discord and maybe share some games that you're all interested in. And we'll see if we can get some discussion going. Because there actually is a lot to do on market right now.
Yeah.
Don't make the mistake of just waiting because of Final Fantasy's cycle. There's plenty of good stuff to get into.
Yeah, some of the multiplayer stuff I've been playing when I'm not raiding on 14. It's like there's Palia coming out. But then I've been playing a bunch of Sunhaven, which is basically fantasy Stardew Valley. That's really fun.
I love that.
It has up to 8-person multiplayer. There's Grim Dawn, which if you like things like Path of Exile and Diablo, I think Grim Dawn is probably my favorite application of that genre so far. There are plenty of options.
Lots to do. I'm still playing Star Rail.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to ask about Honkai Star Rail.
It's so good.
The new 1.2 just came out.
Yeah, I need to catch up on the 1.2 story.
Same. I just started poking at it today.
Oh yeah, Eska just reminded me, for anyone who has Epic Games, the base version of Elder Scrolls Online is free.
It's free?
Free, 100% free this week. It's their free game of the week.
Oh yeah, they keep doing this and I keep forgetting.
I would highly recommend that from prior experience. It's definitely like our solid second.
So they've done this thing where they've said it's free for 2 days. Is it you acquire it and then the base game is free, or is it one of these happy fun weekend
the way
things?
Elder Scrolls worked when I bought it was you bought it and then you owned the game. You could play it.
Yeah, it's buy to play mainly.
Yeah, so they're just you can play it this week, is what you're saying then.
No, like literally.
No, you acquire it for free. Once
you
acquire
it for free.
The game.
That's
good. That's how
It's,
Epic Games free game of the week
I think
works.
they've added a subscription thing where you can get extra. You can get extra access or interesting things, but you own the game. You own the game.
For sure. It's like Guild Wars.
At its core.
ESO Plus is the subscription, and it adds mainly like quality of life stuff, but also like allows you to get into some of the content that you'd otherwise have to pay for individually, but as a bundle sort of thing for as long as you're subscribing, if you prefer that. I would generally think that it's worth it, mainly because the base game itself is quite polished. And
yeah, I'd be definitely interested in grabbing that, just because they've had weekends where this was like play for free this weekend only,
And the game's like a decade old now, and it's got like a lot of content. So it's really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know some people don't like Epic, but I really appreciate the free game of the week thing. That's how I got my hands on Subnautica and Slime Rancher.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that's on Epic?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll open up a tab after the stream.
They're still fighting their battle with Steam, and this is how they do it.
Well, what are the plans for Fanfest? I don't imagine we'll be able to have a show going, but are you we gonna talk? We're gonna maybe catch up the week after?
I was actually thinking about doing a cast from there, just something quick, just to kind of give our impression, see what's going on, if Sarah and Arden can get together at some point. That was mostly predicated on the lore book coming out.
Right.
That looks like it won't be out until December, so
you can pre-order.
That'll be the first day of Holiday Matsuri. So I'll be doing a cast there where we just go through the entire lore book. I paid to have it overnighted, so I will have it the day after it comes out. So we'll see.
That's amazing. Okay. Well, so that's what we have. I hope you all have a lot of fun next week. I hope we hear some good stories when you come home.
Yeah,
And,
we'll be tweeting about it a lot.
You know, if you see our friends, be sure to tell them we all said hi.
We have very distinctive purple hair, so we're very obvious.
Yeah,
that and the Emmett earring.
I'll be in costume a lot of the time, so I'm entering the contest as Fortunal.
Yep.
I'll have my Assi and La Habrea there, and also for pool shenanigans, I'm making a Shisui set. So
Nice.
So if you see me, say hi.
I would, but I don't have a ticket.
Hey, listen, why don't you just wear your samurai outfit for Halloween?
You know how pissed I am about that still?
I know. So for those who don't know, which is probably many, Ayumi bought a samurai artifact gear cosplay years ago. And because
this was
of the
right before COVID.
Right, so it was unable to be used, and it's been in the closet for 3 years.
Yes.
So I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I was gonna use it. So this was
the trick.
even before like Shadowbringer. Well, this was a year after Shadowbringers, and I was gonna use the. No.
You had bought it during.
2019.
Yep.
Gonna use it for 2020.
Yep.
COVID hit.
Yep.
Couldn't use it. It's been in storage.
Yep.
Flower bomb Yumi.
That's
One
fun.
day.
One day. All right.
All the accessories sitting around too. I'm so mad.
You should have Koberon print you a sword.
I have a sword sitting here. I got everything here.
Gotta update it. Gotta update your artifact.
With it.
It's a 3-year-old sword though. You need a new one.
Yeah.
Hit you
True.
with it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. All right. Well, I guess we should close up shop here. Anything left to say before we drop the stream?
No. Looking forward to seeing what Square has and Yoshi P have in store for us at the at Fanfest.
Really
weekend.
excited. I hope when you come back, maybe the first stream we should have is a Fanfest review. Maybe we should do that.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So that's the plan.
We're gonna be buzzing. So I just want to say that the time from expansion announcement up until the actual expansion release is some of the most enjoyable for me, just because of all the rampant speculation.
Yes.
And so much we don't know, and I feel like that is the most fun that I have with this game, and the reason that I enjoy doing this is because of just so many theories and diving into what the game has to offer, and just being excited about what's to come.
That's a great reminder. Yeah, I think that was the most fun I had as well when we were in the post Shadowbringers haze. What's next?
So enjoy it before they reveal everything and ruin it.
It's true.
All right, everybody. All right, I'm going to close up the stream. Thank you all for coming. Tune in again next time. It'll probably be in 2 weeks sharp, but we'll have an update for you. And enjoy FanFest, those who are going. And for the rest of us, we'll wait to hear about all of the amazing adventures you have. So, have a wonderful rest of the day. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks so much for
Bye-bye.
coming out. Thanks for your patience, people.
Take care, everyone.
Ayumi with the smoke bomb.